Hey everybody, Bones here, Bones Garage, just bringing you an update what's going on at the garage. So, 1928, Rio, we have her in. The owner painted her, put the motor in the chassis, did all the suspension work, axles, the whole 9 yards. But he couldn't do all the brake lines and get all the brakes and then do the exhaust system. He didn't have the tools to do that. So he called us up, asked us if he can bring it in. And he's going to be bringing it in whenever he gets to those points of not being able to do that. So he brought all the parts to us. He brought us the car. He got us the nice Willwood dual master cylinder setup and the Willwood clutch setup, the master and slave cylinder clutch setup for it, and asked us to just run all his lines. So we got some stainless steel lines, flared them, bent them, put all the fittings in. Look at how nice those lines look going down there. We also have inside the car, he asked us if we can get all the pedals in for him, and we did. We got the clutch pedal here, the brake pedal, and the fuel pedal. We lined everything up, made everything work, put it all in. We mounted it on a 1/4-inch plate, steel plate that we mounted to the firewall because the firewall is thin for the amount of force that you need to push down on everything at the same time. So we do it that way and make it really nice. And we can't close the door because we don't have handles yet. He'll put those on. And we're just about finished with what we had to do. And you can see the nice brake line, the brake hose coming down right across and into the brake caliper. And the same thing on the other side. We have the brake lines that come out, around, and down to the caliper. And if you give me a second, which will only be about a second for you, I'll bring the car up in the air and I'll show you all the brake lines and the exhaust system. Be right back. So now that we have the car up in the air, I can show you the brake lines from underneath and all the work that goes into running the brake lines. So I showed you up top, and the brake lines come from the masters down. They go around and into the proportioning valve. So you have the one brake line here that will go to the front proportioning valve and the other one here that will go to the rear of the proportioning valve. And then it comes out the rear, goes into the adapter fitting right there, and then we flare and put a tube nut on it, and then we put armor all around our brake line. We made the bracket to hold the proportioning valve in place, and then we bring it down and bring it all the way across. And you can see how nice the brake lines are run. Everything, we go around everything. We make all the bends where we need to be, put the armor on it, bring it all the way around it, clamp everything down. Everything is secured, and you can see that there. And then we take it from there, run it all the way into the back. You can see we run it right there. We unioned it right there, so if he ever has to change anything or take the brake line out, it's easier with the union there and having to run it through the frame cross member right here. You just take one of the fittings off, pull the line out of the way, do what you have to do. And then we keep going on. We get the brake line going up there, and we have a standoff with a clamp on it. It goes across the frame right there, and then to the fitting to go into the brake hose. And then from the brake hose, we go down to another T-fitting, and then we have it mounted on the back of the differential here. And then we bring it all the way back and around and out to this caliper. And you can see we have all the nice brake hoses again, all steel, braided, stainless line, and all the way out to this caliper over there. And then one of the things we also do is we bring the brake line below the top of the differential and in front of the cover of the differential. So if the differential ever goes up and hits the floor, it won't crush the brake line. The brake line's protected. There's the top right there, and you can see how far off it is. That's the top of the differential over there. So we always do that. Make sure that brake lines are not going to get crushed or hit by anything. And then the next brake line we have is right up here. You can see it comes out of the proportioning valve, goes around. Again, it's completely armored. So this way it's nice and protected from getting rubbed against anything. Goes down the frame, and you can see again, it goes around everything. Goes to a T-fitting, having to make another bracket. The T-fitting now goes up, comes out around and out through the hole in the frame and to that bracket right there, and then from there it goes to the stainless steel brake line and then into another a banjo fitting with a 90 and into the caliper right there. The right side front brake line comes around right here, all the way across, over to there, makes a 180-degree turn like on the other side, goes to the bracket and then to the stainless, to the 90, and then into the banjo, which goes into the brake caliper. So all of this takes a lot of time, especially when you're talking about stainless steel. It's very hard to bend. It's very hard to flare. You have to get all of the right fittings, and there's a gazillion different fittings that you can use on this. It is a lot of time doing all this work and then doing it as nice as all of this is. As you can see, it follows all its lines perfectly. Everything is nicely set up, really nicely. And then we have the master for the clutch slave cylinder. It comes down from up there, and you can see that's the clutch brake line coming down, goes into this standoff over here and the clamp, and then it goes into this fitting here, and then from this fitting right into the transmission there and to the clutch throwout bearing right in there. So yeah, a lot of work goes into this. And then the next thing we'll show you is the nice exhaust system we're putting in here. So we're stopping it here just about to the rear of the car because we're not sure what's going to happen with the fuel tank that mounts over here and how we're going to run it. So if you look, we ran the exhaust right up to there, and then later we'll bring it out and then bring it around, and once the tank is in, we'll figure out how that is going to go. And again, we ran a nice muffler for it and ran it straight out, and yeah, looks great. So there you go, guys. 1928 Rio did a lot of work on this car, and he's going to be taking it back in the next day or so and bringing it home, do some more, and then bring it back when he needs us. Have a good one. Talk to you soon. Okay, bye.